Okay, good day to all science students. In this video lesson, we are going to tackle the cell theory and then the main types of cell. A closer look at the cell. Is life possible without a cell? Cells are microscopic units that collectively carry out the processes that make an organism a living entity. Your body is composed of trillions of cells of around 200 different types. Your brain is made up of brain cells, your skeleton of bone cells, and your heart of cardiac muscle cells. The discovery of cells changed the way scientists study living organisms. Up to the early 1600s, people only knew of organisms that they could see with the unaided eye. They had no knowledge of the existence of microscopic life forms. Scientists considered Robert Hooke and his early contemporaries to have paved the way for the development of modern biology. Hooke used an early microscope to examine a thin slice of cork from a mature tree. He observed tiny box-shaped structures which he called cellulae, meaning small room. What Hooke had actually observed were the cell walls of dead plant cells, which are components of the cork. The simplicity of his instrument limited his work, but scientists who came after him succeeded in revealing the intricate design of a living cell. Okay, this is the cellulae or the cork cells viewed by Robert Hooke in a simple microscope. Robert Hooke in 1635 to 1708 was an English physicist who played an important role in scientific revolution. He was one of the greatest experimental scientists of his time. In 1665, Hooke wrote the book Micrographia, in which he coined the term cell to describe the structures he saw and the slice of cork under the microscope. Some of his famous inventions include the iris diaphragm of the camera, the universal joint, an early prototype of the respirator, and the balance spring. Here are the scientists who contributed to the cell theory, from Hooke to Leeuwenhoek, Leiden, Swan, and Virchow. Okay, in 1839, German botanist Matthias Leiden and German physician Theodor Swan formulated the cell theory, which states that all living things are made up of cells. German physician Rudolf Virchow also contributed to this theory. He stated that cells came from pre-existing cells. The classical cell theory formulated by Leiden, Swan, and Virchow is the foundation of modern biology. Modern molecular biology has added many principles to cell theory. These are: number one, energy flows within cells. Cells contain deoxyribonucleic acid, or the DNA, which is passed on from a parent cell to the daughter cells during cell division. All cells have basically the same chemical composition and metabolic activities. Number four, cell activity depends on the activities of subcellular structures within the cell. Let us now proceed to the main types of cell. Okay, let us now proceed to the main types of cells, which are the prokaryotic and then the eukaryotic cells. What is this? These are the two main types of cell, the prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Okay, there are two main types of cell, the prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic cells lack a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. An example of prokaryotic cell is a bacterium. Bacteria are among the earliest life forms to appear on Earth and are present in most of its habitats. They play significant roles in nutriment cycles in the environment. Eukaryotic cells, on the other hand, have both a nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. So yung pagkakaiba po, unang-unang prokaryotic ay walang nucleus, and while the eukaryotic has a true nucleus. Okay, yan po yung prokaryotic cell, yung sample is the bacteria, and then sa baba, eukaryotic cell, the protists, fungi, animal, and plant. Structurally, eukaryotic cells are more complex than prokaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells can be found in cellular organism. Structurally, eukaryotic cells are more complex than prokaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells can be found in unicellular organisms like protozoa and multicellular organisms made up of many cells, which include some examples of fungi, protists, plants, and animals. So, much more complicated po ang eukaryotic cell kumpara sa prokaryotic. Okay, this is the summary of the comparison of prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Okay, number one, prokaryotic has no membrane-bound organelles, while eukaryotic contains membrane-bound organelles. Prokaryotic, no true nucleus. Eukaryotic contains true nucleus. Prokaryotic unicellular, while eukaryotic are uni and multicellular. Okay, the size 1.0 to 1.5 micrometers, while eukaryotic is from 10 to 100 micrometers. Okay, prokaryotic has cell wall, eukaryotic asexual and sexual reproduction. Okay, yung common na meron sila parehas, they both have ribosomes, cell membrane, has DNA and cytoplasm. Okay, basically, all eukaryotic cells are made up of same organelles. Cells, however, do not have the same number of organelles and the same amount of macromolecules. The reason for this is that eukaryotic cells, especially of multicellular organisms, are specialized. This means that the cell has a specific function. The number of organelles and the amount of macromolecule depend on the specialization of the cell. For example, muscle cells need fibers, would have more mitochondria than most cells because it always needs energy for contraction. Okay, an organism can be classified as unicellular or multicellular organisms. And unicellular organisms are considered one cell or one organism or one-celled organism, which means that they made up of only one single cell. They can be prokaryote like the bacteria or eukaryote like some protists. So dito sa dalawang ano natin is the unicellular and multicellular. Okay, multicellular organisms are made up of more than one cell. The cell's function must be interconnected with the other cells. Though each cell of multicellular organism contains similar organelles, the function and survival of one cell depends on the other cells. Most fungi, plants, and animals are multicellular. Okay, here are examples under types of cells and organisms. Okay, for bacteria, they are one of the most abundant organisms on Earth due to their ability to survive in various environments or conditions. You can find them almost everywhere, on coins, doorknobs, shoes, bags, pens, skin, and even inside your body. So scientists estimate that bacteria have existed for more or less 3.5 billion years ago, making them among the oldest organisms on Earth. Bacteria are so small that around 3,000 of them could fit in the period of the end of this sentence. Bacteria can be classified based on their shapes. We have rad, bacillus, spherical, coccus, spiral, spiralium, vibrio, and coiled spirochaete. Okay, these are the appearance of the different sizes of bacteria. Okay, bacteria can live as a single cell or in colonies. Colony is a group of identical bacterial cells closely associated with one another. Although they are independent of one another, they may join in cluster or in chains. Bacteria are prokaryotic. They have no distinct nucleus and lack membrane-bound organelles. Even so, they are still able to perform the activities of living organisms. Okay, the next one is protists. Protists are eukaryotic organisms that can be unicellular or multicellular. They are grouped into animal-like, plant-like, and fungus-like protists. So, ang protist kingdom po is nahahati sa tatlong category: animal-like, plant-like, and fungus-like. Okay, unahin natin ang plant-like. Plant-like protists or algae are diverse and widely distributed. They range from single-celled to colonial and multicellular. Algae are not considered plants since they do not have structures that provide their reproductive cells, that protects their reproductive cells. They are not classified as animals either because they do not move using appendages, nor are they considered fungi since they do not have chitin in their cell walls. So the plant-like or protists, some phytoplanktons are classified as protists. Phytoplankton are unicellular photosynthetic organisms that float on the surface of fresh water and salt water. These organisms are responsible for 50% to 85% of the oxygen in the atmosphere. Another example of plant-like protists are dinoflagellates, Eulina, diatoms, and golden brown algae, which are ecologically classified as primary producers in aquatic habitats. Okay, the plant-like plant-like protists. Dinoflagellates are also plant-like protists. They are named such due to the presence of two flagella which each cell. They are similar to Euglena but are mostly found in marine environments. Under certain conditions, dinoflagellates can grow or bloom rapidly, turning water along coasts reddish brown. This phenomenon is commonly called as red tide, producing neurotoxins that harm marine organisms as well as terrestrial organisms that feed on them. Okay, these are the examples of plant-like protists. We have dinoflagellates. Ayan, yan yung mga plant-like protists. Parang halaman, pero hindi talaga sila halaman because they are involved in protist kingdom. Okay, the animal-like protists. Animal-like protists are called protozoa. Must consist a single cell. Like animals, protozoa are heterotrophic and capable of moving. Pag sinabing heterotrophic, consider sila as consumer. An amoeba is one of the simplest known protozoans. It consists of a nucleus and all other cellular parts present in a eukaryotic cell. It crawls using pseudopodia or false feet, into which cytoplasm flows. This is referred to as amoeboid movement, powered by a protein called actin. It also eats tiny food particles present in its surroundings using... Okay, these are the example of animal-like protists. Okay, the fungus-like protists. The fungus-like protists or slime molds are saprophytic, which means they derive foods and energy by breaking down dead organic matter, meaning they are decomposer. They include the plasmodial slime molds and cellular slime molds, which both undergo asexual and sexual reproduction. So to summarize the three groups of protists, so we have number of cells. Plant-like is unicellular, but some are multicellular. Animal-like only is unicellular. Fungus unicellular, and organ for locomotion. Okay, flagella, others have none. Also in animal-like flagella and pseudopodia here in fungus. Mode of nutrition. Okay, the next one we have fungi. Fungi are eukaryotic organisms that include microorganisms such as yeasts, molds, and mushroom. These organisms are classified under kingdom fungi. The organisms found in kingdom fungi contain a cell wall and are omnipresent. They are classified as heterotrophs among the living organisms. So here is the structure of fungi. We have yung pinaka-head niya is sporangium. Spores, we have the stolon and hyphae. Okay, the structure of fungi can be explained in the following points. Almost all the fungi have a filamentous structure except the yeast cells. They can be either single-celled or multicellular organism. Fungi consist of long thread-like structures also known as hyphae. These hyphae together form a mesh-like structure called mycelium. Fungi possess a cell wall which is made up of chitin and polysaccharides. The cell wall comprises a protoplasm which is differentiated into other cell parts such as cell membrane, cytoplasm, cell organelles, and nuclei. The nucleus is dense, clear, and with chromatin threads. The nucleus is surrounded by a nuclear membrane.